There was a video on one of my people I subscribe to uh, about making sparks with a piece of iron, and he had a striker that looked. I doubt that it was from the same supplier, but it looked like this. It's one of the typical ones that you can get if you order one through a kit on eBay or Amazon. I mentioned this here is a file that I found it in a bucket of water. It was except for the shape, you could barely see that it actually was a file. Knocked the tang off of it and used a grinder to take a lot of the ridges out of it, and left it alone. I haven't done anything else to it except shorten it up, use a grinder, take the sharp pieces off. I didn't have to cut it. I just stuck it on something and then smacked it with a hammer, and whatever length I ended up with, that's what I stayed with. So there was a lot of discussion about you need a special rock to make sparks, and it's not that one. Anyway, most of the rocks in this pile were picked up down at the river, and it looked, they had a dull white exterior, and they didn't look like anything special until I've used another rock and beat them into pieces, and then on the inside is when you saw that it's made up of layers. This is another rock I got in the same general area. What you're looking for is a rock that when you break it, it comes off in flakes, and it's got a smooth, shiny surface to it. And this isn't flint. This is an actual flint. This came in the kit that this came with, but it's got the same characteristics. It's got a rough exterior. When you break it, it comes off in flakes, and it looks generally smooth when you look at the broken edges. So that's flint. I know it works. This is their purchased firesteel. So you just look for a sharp edge. If you don't have a sharp edge, then you need to break the stone again till you get a sharp edge. And then you line it up, make sure it's in the viewfinder, and you'll see that this is, I'm not sure if you actually saw the sparks or not. There were sparks that came off of it, but there was one. But you see that it's difficult to use. This is an ordinary piece of file. So you stick it on the edge, get the sharp edge on it. Rougher edges actually work better. This work better in practice. There we go. I hope all those showed up. The sharp edge that'll flake off will make all kinds of sparks. And this was all the same rock. It was just finding the right edge to run across. Being as this one sparked on that one, maybe it'll spark on this one. No. These are just, I just found them difficult to use, and I've never really had much luck banging on the back of a pocket knife or a sheath knife. But I've made all kinds of fires with this. But I would rather use an actual ferro rod. Something that I've found. I've got a box here, and I stuff this with as much I can't think of the name. Horsetail? No. It's a plant, normally grows in water, puts up a brown pod that looks like a hot dog or a kielbasa sausage, and when you break that open, it's full of fluff. As soon as I get off the camera, I'll think of the name of it. It's a common weed that grows next to the water everywhere. But I took the fluff from that and I packed this tin completely full, and then I charred it, the normal method for charring. But what this tin is good for is you can take your steel, and then drop the sparks directly into your char. And then when it's done, all you got to do is put the lid back on it, and it will self-extinguish. So you can make a whole tin of charred material last much longer than just individual little strips of cloth. So that's something that I do. These are two recent purchases. I got this one from Nathan 4071. I just got it in the mail this week, and this one came from firesteel.com. This one is a 3/8 3/8 and 6 inches long. This one's 1/2 inch by 5 inches long. And they're both drilled for a lanyard hole. The striker came with the firesteel.com purchase. I'm real happy with this purchase. Actually, real happy with both of them. The price points, you get more material with a half-inch diameter 5-inch rod than you do with a 6-inch rod that's 1/8 of an inch less in diameter. And you pay between 1/3 and 1/2 of the price by buying this one. And he tends to add bonus stuff in the package when you order one thing. There's more than one thing in the box when you get it open. So yeah, I'm real happy with this. But I wanted to talk about fire steels. I want to talk about cherts and flints, and how just the outside of the rock doesn't really give you an idea of what's on the inside, and it's the characteristics of the rock more than the name of the rock that makes a difference on if you can make sparks from it or not. So it's my thoughts on it. I'm not an expert, but I've had some success, and like everybody, I assumed that I had to buy something special when something that's out of my scrap pile worked much better. So there you go. We'll talk to you later.